Welcome to the Work Hates podcast. I'm Bron Lewis. This is Brady Blake. Everyone has a nightmare work story, whether it is a dreadful boss, a shitty workplace, or an insufferable colleague. And if you've had none of those things, chances are you're the problem.
You are the problem. Today we are joined by comedian, basketball enthusiast, and Dave Hughes impersonator. That's all I had.
God.
Fuck. Dave Thornton!
Wow, he called you Dave before he was calling you Dan.
I called Dan. I was under so much pressure.
Yeah, it's because, I mean, a peek behind the curtain, guys. My Facebook profile, my personal one. That's exactly, well, it's not personal anymore. But
You're going to have to change that. Damn it, damn it.
It's jokes, guys.
Guys,
I'm a
it's
comedian.
fine. It's
But how long have you guys known each other for?
Fucking forever.
I know. So when you're calling him Dan, I was like, that is so embarrassing.
I know,
Brady.
because it came off the Facebook, like you said. But I think we did a gig very early on, like when I just started, like Rotnest, Rottofest.
Now, the man you see before you, it wasn't always like that.
No,
Like,
cardigan and flip chart, baby.
Flip chart?
And
I
I,
didn't know
I
about
had a
that.
flip chart.
I think you had, if memory serves, like really colourful, like baggy, happy pants.
No,
Beg your
dude.
pardon?
No. I will cop cardigan. I will cop cardigan, and I'll own cardigan. We've never
pants?
had colourful pants in my life.
Holy hell.
I've
Who
got
thinking
so many
of?
photos of it though. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
think
funny
it's all right.
when you got to Melbourne, and I was like, yeah, I think I've done gigs with this kid. And I was like, well, what happened? And then, but then I found out that was like in the, the Superman kind of context, like. This is Superman. This is who you've always been. That was
okay.
Clark Kent for a while. Like
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
trying to hide.
I was trying to fit into the art.
Did it work? Like, did you?
No,
Were you like, yeah, okay.
I just got double
obviously.
bullied. So when I'd wear the cardigan, my mates would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to fit into the arts." And then when I came over here, they're like, "Oh, he's wearing black, trying to be Mel." I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, you can never win."
Have you got any clips of that? Like,
I've got
I'd
heaps,
love
dude.
to see. Have you looked back?
Oh yeah, should I give it to another comedian to bully me?
No, I
Yeah,
just
reckon
want
I
to
will.
watch it. I would never bully you, Brady. I just want to see it in motion because I can picture it, but I'm confused by the flip chart. What's on the flip chart?
I could never remember my jokes, so I had a flip chart, but they were still crook lines in there. Like one of them was like, "Anal sex with Delta Goodrem" was a punchline.
And what, you just didn't think the artsy cardigan thing worked for you?
Well, that's how. What is that not high art? What are you doing up there, dude?
Oh
I'm like
my
fucking
God.
Rembrandt up there. I'm stroking the brush of anal sex.
It's weird that you're possibly less vulgar on stage and you look like this. Like
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
all
How did that
black and he's
change?
pulled it back.
Who am I? I don't even know anymore. Fuck. I went internal. I had a fucking edible the other night. And I was like, who am I? And I was like, stop thinking, gun.
It doesn't suit you. So did you transition over in Perth before?
Transition, did I?
Yes. Did you
Don't
transition?
say that to a Perth audience. They'll fucking hate that, mate.
But did you change from a cardigan to a mullet over there or here?
No, I had I brought when I came over, I had my cardigan on, and I was just like, and I was doing spots in the cardigan with the flip chart, and I was just bombing up a storm, and I was like, if I have to fucking wear this stupid cardigan one more time,
Like even
and
in
carry
summer?
this fucking flip chart, it wasn't always a cardigan. I just roast myself about the cardigan. I'm like, fuck this. I'm just gonna wear what I'm comfortable in, and
so
then that's when it started going well, when I was just me.
You. Oh, so you did
That's
do it over
beautiful.
here in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea that you're slowly going across the Nullarbor.
Yes.
And then things happened on the way through that you don't talk about anymore. Like you're at Kalgoorlie and Cooper Pedy and you're just like, I can't wear the cardigan anymore. It's just, things happened.
I
Throw it down
started
a
as
mine.
Priscilla Queen of the Desert and then moved to Mad Max by the time I get here.
Perfect.
Just some shit went down, guys.
The mullet grew out, it just flapped in the wind like something from Priscilla Queen
Well,
of the
I
Desert.
only grew
That's
the mullet
beautiful.
to fuck my brother's wedding photos, like a good brother would. Because I said,
Was he
if you-
upset?
No, he loved it. I think his wife
Oh.
hated it. She was like, "Can you please tie that back or cut it off?" And I went, "No,
Tying it back is worse.
dude."
Like,
when I go to
ponytail.
Mullet's
Malta,
fine, but tying it back,
Dude.
oh, you're on a registry.
dude, it looks beautiful. Give me some magic cards and I'll spike your drink. Go, you're asleep. You're asleep. Everyone's asleep.
Jesus Christ. He's just always on cruises. He just he likes being out there.
I'm a man of the
yuck.
sea. I love being surrounded by moisture.
What I love is on the open seas, there's no rules.
There's
you know what I
no-
mean? There's no law. There's
Yeah.
casinos. There's cheap drinks.
Actually, there are rules out here. No. There's no rules.
The first cruise ship I ever did, the person running it said to me, okay, so I have to say this to every comedian, you cannot have sex with the guests. I was like, okay, what? Have you seen him? I'm sure, no worries.
And would you say my marriage is kind of implying that as well?
I was like, I reckon I'll be fine, but thank you for assuming I might.
You don't want to fuck a fat NRL supporter
That says like like Narelle's 60th. They've got like a pina colada. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Mate, there's a bloody pineapple on the door. You don't want to come in for a foursome?
Fuck no.
Oh wait, you go for the Panthers? I'm on board.
Oh my God, sorry, I'm so moist.
But someone was telling me when they did their first cruise ship, this is another comedian, this is Josh Earl, God bless him, he said that there was a magician that he went on his first cruise with, and the magician was like, Josh, come around here, come have a look, and was like, that area there, no cameras can reach that, so you can fuck someone there, and then another part over here, you can fuck someone in that cupboard because there's no cameras there, and just took him on a tour around this gigantic cruise, showing him where he can shag
Mate,
the
you see
guests.
that ocean? There's no fucking cameras in there. You could fucking root a dolphin. No one fucking know. Right in the blowhole, mate.
Through trial and error, I found out bodies will just disappear out there. Like you just go. This is a lot. Oh, mate.
I know.
That is no
but
good.
But to know, and not to know just one, like he'd sussed it out. He knew all of them. He trial and tested all
Now
of
here,
them.
because the camera's quite high, you can get away with a lying down 69, but if you try to vertically missionary someone, it won't work here.
Yucky.
How what a different life when I'm like, in my world, if I'm in the cabin, my family can't ask a question of me. I'm away and I can be left alone and I can read a book.
Yeah.
That's all I'm after.
Yeah, you on the cruise ship's quite tranquil. Like every time I'm smoking up on the deck, I see Dave reading a book out in the sun,
nice.
glass of wine. I'm like, who is this bougie character?
I'm
trying to figure out where I can fuck.
Mind you, last time I was on a cruise was with Mr. Blake.
That's beautiful.
And
Was I drinking or not drinking? These are two very different Bretts.
No, you were not drinking, but it was quite funny because your life was going to get something to eat, go past the skill tester at the casino, I'm pumping some more money in. Fuck! And then I'm like, what are you doing, Blakey? Should we hang out? And he's like, I've got video editing to do. And he just stayed inside like Howard Hughes, like just in his room, going, and working all these things. It had so much electronics on him.
Oh, man.
Like, it was questionable.
Dude, it's so... I carry like 9 hard drives with me. I was like, I swear to God, I'm not a sex pest.
Yeah, and then pass the school test every time. Fuck! And then would lose
what is a
again.
skill
The skill
test?
tester was on the way to my
What is
room.
that?
I'd lose like $20 on it.
You know the claw? You know, you hit it.
Oh,
and
It wasn't the
For
claw. It had a
children.
key, and you had to get the key in the hole, and you'd win like $400. And I was just like, every time.
And you never won it.
No, but I
What?
got real angry. But then I've had pretty good luck this week. I won $950 on the dogs, but you're not meant to
On the
gamble
dish
dogs.
lickers?
What?
On the dish lickers?
Yeah.
Well
he's
done.
better on land, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, put him on the sea, he doesn't win. You put him on land.
I
don't you worry
save the
about
roots for the ocean, and I save the success with cash for the land. Thank
that.
you.
You stay in your lane. That's how you work it out.
Brady was telling me one time that he was on the cruise with Bev Killick. We've had on this podcast before. She has had the most insane stories. I think it's on our Patreon. Actually, talk to us about one.
Dave was on this cruise, yeah.
Oh, is this the one?
Yeah.
Anyway, join the Patreon if you want to hear this insane Bev story, which is her on a cruise, and she does the most. I've retold the story that many times, and I thought that's as wild as it can get. That's probably the strangest thing
When
that
Bev
a
did a
woman
shit in
could
my
go.
room. I messaged her. I said, you wouldn't believe this, mate. Guess what just happened? She goes, oh, my stomach. I just got to use the bathroom. I was like, there's one outside. You can probably use that. She's probably just doing a piss. 5 minutes later, it was like someone was cutting onions in my fucking room. My eyes were watering.
Oh, that's right. I do remember because you told me, you're like, oh no, this is no good.
I messaged her as well. I was like, the next day I was like, Bev, I'm telling everyone this fucking
Yeah.
rules.
What about you're at dinner table with Bev and she says to you, "Hey, Brady, if I told you I'm a squirter,
Yeah.
did you know that?
See,
Or
there's
did
no
you already
rules in
knew
the
that?
high
You
seas.
knew that,
Yeah.
didn't you, Dan?
No, Dan Thornton didn't know about this because it was the night before she talked about how good her partner is in foreplay, in cunnilingus.
Oh, good on
And-
him.
And
Mate, I'm happy for Bev.
she'd forgotten, and then the next day at dinner, I said, "Do you remember saying that?" And she's like, "Oh God, I can't believe I said it." And my partner and I are not married officially. We have kids, but we're not married. I said, "If we do,
Out of wedlock.
I will get your partner to put all the stamps on the invites because it sounds like his tongue is an absolute weapon.
Dude, this machine could like hammer 900 invites in a minute, I reckon. Get him down to the fucking Australia Post. Get him on the lick and stamps duty.
Mate, he can just use his tongue to pick up 30-kilogram dumbbells, just working him at a gym.
Get this fucking tongue on the skill tester. He would have won some
Oh,
coin.
mate, he would have won.
Oh,
He
that
would've won.
tongue would find every single nook and cranny in that
Oh,
cruise.
my
Oh,
lord.
yeah.
Beautiful.
It knows
That's
where
what
the
you
cameras
need.
are.
And talking about magic,
Please.
that's what it is.
That knows exactly what it is. Please.
Please.
Now, Dave, we're so excited to have you on the pod. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, guys, it's my pleasure.
Thank you. I know you're a busy man, so thrilled to have you
I
on.
should have laughed then.
yeah. I was going to say, he's dropped the kids off at school. I reckon someone's having pina coladas outside.
I've been out the front for 3 hours.
I hung out with Claire Hooper yesterday, and we were talking about you singing your praises, and we were talking
Hoops,
about
that's
how
nice.
you are the quickest at understanding what, like if I like say a quick joke to you, you will absolutely be on board straight away. That's why you're so good at all riffs, all everything. That's why you're an excellent MC. That's why you're good on all the TV shows. That's why you're good at just like having a little chat to it and then walk off and everyone goes, that was really nice. Like you're the
I'm here
king
as well.
of
Wouldn't
that.
mind a compliment, whatever.
How can we finish here?
Yeah, that's a wrap, guys.
You got a lovely hat on, Brady.
Better than old plays basketball and impersonates Hughesy over here.
I know.
Right,
No.
you fucking.
I know.
No, we are both suburban kids from that grew up in the 80s and 90s. So we're just going to go, no, you're right. And that's about the most compliment we're going to hand
Hey,
out.
you've
Thank
done
you.
very well.
Get it.
Well,
Emotionally stunted.
Thank
Well,
you.
I was
Look at
ready
us.
for this podcast because I was just talking about how great you are yesterday. So you are so naturally gifted at this job and in this industry. It's like you were born to do it. Now, how long, when did you start doing comedy? Like how old were you?
I was born to do it.
Yes, you
just
were.
natural talent.
You were.
You're grabbing the umbilical cord. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? Oh, yeah, doctor. No, it does make sense. It actually makes sense.
Doctor, nurse, what are the odds? Mum, are you a mum?
Good work. Mate, I started this when I was... my first ever gig, I was 22, but when I really started, I was like 24, I reckon.
that's young.
Because I crapped around, just because I backpacked and then
Okay.
did a couple of crappy gigs.
Oh, yeah.
But really...
Where'd you go backpacking? Is that where you spread your little wings?
Why do you say it like a magician?
I don't know why. Because I'm in creepy
Ew.
magic mode now. I know I've got
Yeah.
a fucking ponytail back here.
Yeah.
He thinks he's back in the high seas.
Yeah.
Okay, Bev.
Sorry, guys. Just imagining Beverly growling me out. I'm so sorry, Beverly. I love you. You're an angel.
We
I don't know why I
love
said
Bev.
that. I love her.
Yeah,
sorry.
the skill test you passed was my groin. No, before that, I was a graphic designer, guys.
Were you?
Oh.
And I'm colourblind, so where's my Australia story? eh?
Fucking hell. Get this cunt on the fucking gala. Oh, you already been on.
How did you find out you were colourblind?
At
Because
graphic design school, they're like, why is this all shit? what, pink and green doesn't go together? Whatever.
whatever, guys. No, did you do this in primary school where they do those tests? They're all dots, and you're
Oh,
supposed to
yeah.
sit. There's a letter
See
or
ya.
number in it.
Yeah.
And every kid's going into the room, coming out 30 seconds later, going, nailed it. And I go in, and the guy's like, cancel my 2 o'clock. What's this kid doing? And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It's a smiley face. He's like, no, it's a number, mate. Like, what are you doing? And I just couldn't pick it. And then he's like, yeah. And then I really thought I was in trouble. Like, I was really, oh, no, what have I done?
Oh.
And what do you do for a living, mate? Optometrist school. And then, and they got home. And I mean, my family all have glasses. I should really wear my
Okay.
glasses more. So we've all got eyes that are a little off.
I've heard the blue eyes are weak. That's what they tell me.
What colour are my eyes? Are they green?
Blue.
Blue?
Yeah, weak as piss.
Fuck off. I've got a bit of orange in there.
Fuck off.
Jeez.
Orange?
Yeah,
No,
up
you
top-
don't.
up
Don't
top
ask
there's a bit of
Dave.
orange, yeah.
It's
Don't
funny,
ask
with
Dave, he
those
has no
tight
idea.
pants, I never look you in the eyes. I've
No,
just
I don't
realised,
blame
mate.
you. I don't blame you. Just came from a wardrobe fitting just before, and she could not keep her eyes off the floor. Did not want to see my sloppy rig. Thank you.
Mate, he's probably looking at your thongs like,
Yeah.
cover up, champion.
Yeah, I know. Like my dry feet. I'm like, what a fucking
And all your toes
sweat.
are the same size?
What the fuck? Stop picking on my toe. I got half a toe over
God.
there. Have you seen that? Half a toe.
They're very stumpy.
Yeah, I got stumpy toes, mate. Fucking. Sorry, you ranked out by my half toe.
It's funny because
I lost it on a water slide. Fuck.
I said that as a joke, but I realised I'd never actually looked at your feet. And
Yeah.
now that I have, it's changed my life.
Yeah, I've got.
Not for the best.
Man, I've got little hobbit feet because
Not
I've
for the
got
better.
Burmese genes, so we got little Asian feet.
Wait, you lost half a toe on a slippery side?
Yeah. I think I was in kindergarten, and there was this old rusted tin slide.
Yep.
At my mate's house, and we put all this fucking detergent down, and it's like, let's see how fast we can go. And there was a big bit of metal hanging out the bottom. I'm like, that'll be right if I don't hit it. And then I did, and it just lopped half my toe off.
So have you got like, is it taken off like the?
Yeah, it's
Which one?
that one. It's fucking rank. And then like the nail used to grow out like a stick, and I used to try and grow it, and because I was like, maybe it's going to be a magic wand. It was like a long stick thing. It was gross.
I know on stage you ham it up and you're like, yeah, I'm a bit of a bogan. And I'm like, yeah, you're the bogan. Like every time there's another story
It's a character. It's a character. Sorry, guys, I'll put my cardigan back on so I can trick you.
He walks the walk, and he walks with stumpy little toes.
Yeah, man, and I got to go in a fucking ambulance. It was sick. I had the best day.
That is cool. You tried to grow your nail long enough so it could be a stick.
I don't want to gross you out, but see that little corner bit, how that's
Yeah.
the only bit of nail there, but it used to just grow out like a wand. It's so disgusting. But then I used to keep trying to grow it because I was like, maybe it's a magical wand.
Mate, for everyone listening, it's funny. I couldn't have had more of a middle class upbringing, and I'm like, oh, I found out I was colourblind, and then you were just like, cunt, look at me toes, lopped them off when I was 5, blood pissing out everywhere.
And I got to go in an ambulance for free.
Oh shit, that's so funny, Brady. What is missing?
Blakey.
Wow,
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
gross, isn't it?
Did you see it? Did you find it and try and put it back on now?
No,
Did
it
they
was
try
like
and
kind
sew
of
it back
like,
on?
I think it got slit down the middle or the end of it went off, or I can't really remember. I was
Yeah,
just
it's
like, oh,
definitely
this
not
is
there.
cool.
That
I'm in
is-
an ambulance.
This has changed.
I remember
a
it
lot.
hurt.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
hazard a guess it
so.
Got a
would.
week off school. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I hammed it up. Could have gone after day 2. but-
Well, you almost lost your entire toe. I reckon
Yeah.
you didn't even
Yeah.
ham
Yeah,
it
but I don't
up.
understand why I didn't hit the little one. Anyway,
Yeah, but that's true.
I guess that's physics, you know.
It's
Can't control
magic.
it. It's
Yeah.
magic.
This little piggy stayed home because it had been severed off. It was done, mate. It was gone.
You know that question you can ask, like if you're on
Oh my
Hinge or
gosh.
whatever, it's like, tell us a fun fact. I've got 9.5 toes. People are like, that's disgusting. We don't need to know that.
There'd be websites to be up for that, though. I
I
reckon.
reckon there would be. I can
Yeah,
make some
genuine-
isn't that
genuinely.
Wiki Feet? You on Wiki Feet, Dave?
No, but I put my feet out on the project the other night. I put it up on the
Okay.
desk, and I got some mates texting saying they were disgusting. But whether it's hit the big time, I don't know.
Yeah, but no one's like fuck. I mean, I suppose there is people, but like most feet are pretty fucking rank, aren't
Are they yuck?
I mean, they're not great.
Okay.
No, they're all right. Normally you
They're
got
fine.
paint and shit on them, so that's nice. You've washed them for once.
You're talking about
That
my
does look
shoes
nice.
that I painted. I painted my garage, okay, and I had paint on my shoes. I didn't have paint all over my feet. I have a shower every day, Brady. Come on, don't embarrass me in front of
Well,
Dave.
my nose begs to differ. I'm in an attack mode. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
turned on
yeah.
everyone.
Look, you're on the back foot.
Looks like they need an angle grinder. No, that's
It's dangerous.
no, but we were talking about this recently with mates because there's a funny thing with feet where now in the strange world of OnlyFans
Yeah.
and the younger generations, it's really empowering. You're like, oh, I'm a bit confused here because
Yeah.
you're really putting your bits out for money,
Yeah.
which we used to have. I'm not saying there were. That was classified as prostitution back in the day. Now it's a strange area of like,
strange-
whatever,
Well,
and
actually-
fair enough. And I'm confused. But then with your feet, I'm like, God, if people pay you money to just show your feet, because it's not Rudy bits. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I guess then you kind of,
Yeah, but I think you still got to do the work.
Yeah.
It's like anything. I was listening to this podcast. I think it was called Girlfriend for Hire with that comedian Carly Electric, and she also is a sex worker as well. And I was listening to it on the car ride over from Adelaide. Fucking interesting because this is a world I don't know. But she was saying, I was like, I forgot about that because she's like, yeah, there's like, there's 100,000 people on fucking OnlyFans, but only like 2% are making money. The rest have just put up a profile naked having
Right.
sex, showing their feet. And got no fucking followers. There's thousands of
that's
that.
heartbreaking.
Imagine that. You're like, alrighty, here's my dick. Any second now. Any second now. Ah, for fuck's sake. Not even a creep on the internet wants to see this.
Do you reckon it's a community like us? Because we're now all going online. Like this is obviously going
Yeah.
online. We're all asking questions of the big dog. How did it go? What made you go viral? What clips do you reckon were better or not? Do you think
Yeah.
they're sitting around just workshopping?
Yeah. How long did you do graphic designing and OnlyFans? Like, did you have to
Yeah.
do that for ages?
When'd you go full time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
I'd feel bad if someone paid to see me naked. I'd be like, you could probably get it for free after a few beers. I'll run down the street or something. But no one's paying for this.
No one's asking.
Just
Brady.
shelling
It's
out
okay.
refunds.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm giving them money to have a look.
Soz.
Ruined your day.
Sorry.
Sucked in.
That was really bad of me.
I saw online there's a lady who's on OnlyFans. I follow her on Instagram. She said someone had asked her, "Hey, I want to do a side hustle. I'm going to get into OnlyFans. Is it a good idea? Do you have any tips?" And she was like, "It's not a side hustle. It is a full-time job." I was like, "What? So it's
Yeah.
like it is because you have to do similar to what we have to do on social media. If someone comments on your thing, you have to reply. You have to. Can you imagine?
Get
Thank
this.
you for the feedback.
That Carly Electric Bird was explaining it.
Yeah.
And she gets over 200 DMs a day. So, and she's got to respond to them. 200 DMs off, and she's like, it's a 38-hour week for me filming content, responding, and because if you don't respond, and also the guys, guess what they're doing? They're jacking their little dicks off when they message you. They kind of want to be in the moment, then you can sell them stuff, and it's like, so it's like it's a full. But she goes, I think she's on 15 grand US a month, so 30 grand. I reckon I'd respond to that.
Freddie, you should probably stop messaging her 200 times a day. Then maybe
as if I'm on fucking OnlyFans. I deleted the other
Oh.
week. I'm better than everyone. Thank you.
Here we go. Stumpy Toe 69's messaged me again. There you go.
I was trying to sell my fucking rank foot and no one bought it.
it's magic. It has a wand on it.
I mean, mind you, everything you just said, it wasn't even the sexual acts that were putting me off. It was responding to the DMs that got me more
Yeah.
disgusted about that situation.
Yeah, I think, nudity go nuts. But just imagine just talking to 400 fucking horny dudes
No
being
thanks.
like, oh, and it'll just be the same, cut and paste. Oh, I'm wet. Great, thanks. The end.
Give him a bit of that gear. Yeah. I mean, mind you, so recently I took my car for a wash. I should have known. It's and then of course there's a massage parlour next to it, and my shoulders were tense, and I don't mind a little bit of neck and shoulder.
Sure.
Straight away, like I walked in there, and then I'm like neck and shoulder, and the girl paused for a bit, and she's like, "You been here before?" And I'm like, "Nah." And then I should have just right then and then gone, "Hang on a second." So anyway, I'm in there, and then of course, and I said, "Oh no, this is what I'm not here for." And she got really like, "Oh, well, there's a place down the road that actually does massages." I'm like, "Well, where was that at the front desk?
Yes.
Like you should have done that."
You got to know. There's got to be some code. Maybe
I
there's
think there is. I don't.
You think?
I think. I fucking
you-
know. I'm out there. I'm fucking checking every single one
And
of
the
the
code
guys.
is, "Hi, I'm Brett Blake."
Yeah.
That's the code.
You see my toe?
Ladies.
I think if you see, from what I can gather from looking at the fucking fronts, if you see the sign that's got a flashing open, I think, or it says massage, I think as soon as you see an LED sign, and
All of them
the
have
ones,
that.
yeah, but the ones that look dodgy, you can never see through the front window. If I can't see through the front window into the desk area, I assume it's dodgy.
Well, this one, so I walk out trying to go like, what's the right face here? I've got to do the, bloody, I messed it up.
Because you're walking out and you don't want someone to see you.
No.
You're like, I swear to God, my nuts are still full.
Yeah, like that. And you don't want to look out like, I was cool with the interaction. Like, you look too relaxed like that.
Yeah.
And
Bit tense, but
tense, bit over
not too embarrassed.
What did you?
'cause you're
I
not
would
an
have
idiot.
gone with like, oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, my shoulders are nice and loose. I would have done that. Oh yeah.
But they all know.
I just yelled on the street, I wasn't jerked off. And that seemed to work really well. But I was self-conscious going back to the car wash because it's next door, and they were like, "Oh, so you're one of those old mates?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm not." God damn it! But then I drive home, and Nikki was working from home, my partner, and of course I'm like, "This just happened," and she's looking at me because she was just in emails, and then her partner bolts in, going, "What's this thing?" And this girl thought it was. She's like, "Why are you telling me?" I'm like, "Would you think I would have told you if it was real?" And then
I did it,
And then
yeah.
I look up on Google Maps and say, "Does that look like a normal massage place? Like, doesn't that look legit?" And she's like, I guess, I don't know. Like, just didn't want any part of it, which is fair enough. But
Yeah.
then, and this is the whole point I told this story, because then I realized there were all these reviews. And I'm like, what? And so I kicked in, and just the dudes who were like,
what's he address this?
great place.
Ah,
Like,
yeah.
wonderful service. And I'm like, dude, I'm not saying I condone what you're doing, but fair enough. Like, you're doing what you're doing. Why are you letting the public know?
Yeah, who's putting this review up?
You know
But
what
the
I mean?
review, yes, if your name's attached to it. But also, it's like if I was like, is this place nice? Is this place good? If I looked at those reviews and someone just said, great place, great service, ladies know what they're doing, I'd be like, well, excellent. I would not think this is a rub and tug.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful term.
I mean, mind you, and I don't want to throw her under the bus right now, but I was telling this story to Lizzie Who, and just saying like, oh yeah, it's so weird because then you're just caught in that weird. I don't want to be here, and she doesn't. And you're like, yeah. She said she was up in Ballarat and did the same. Like, oh, I could do with a massage. Goes in, gets the massage, and then the woman's like, so, and she's like, oh, what?
What do you want?
And then I also was like, that's. I'm not
fucking-
saying I'm like that's strange too. A calibration of like, I understand it's a job that you're doing.
Yeah.
Can you just turn it off and whatever gender, whatever proclivity turns up, you're like, job's a job.
Bit harder to crack that code though. I mean, a dick. pretty easy.
Not
Couple of
for Bev's-
shakes, see
not
you
for
later.
Bev's partner.
Yeah, not for Bev's partner.
That's fine.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Going, I reckon I could just make anyone come.
This is a union man. Wait, how long do I have to? Oh, that seems like that's. And what is it now? Wait, it's a Friday. That's double overtime.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fucking overtime. Is it raining outside? I'm fucking, no, I'm not working under these conditions.
The massage is a very intimate thing, though. Like I went and saw an osteopath the other day, and because they have to get really into like the glutes and stuff,
Yeah.
and there's oil involved, and you're like, if like you know the lights were dimmed and there was music on, and a bloke was doing that to me, I'd be like, this is a little bit too much for me.
much.
It's a bit too much for
Yeah.
me. I don't know.
Well, my
Is
brother
that-
used to be a masseuse, and he'd
Of course he did.
Yeah, he used
got
to
a
jack
gold
people
tooth.
off. Yeah, he does have a gold tooth. Yeah, he got punched out. He's a prison guard. He got punched out in a riot or something.
Well, you've probably talked about this. The progression from masseuse to prison guard or prison guard to masseuse.
It's like cardigan to mullet.
Yeah.
Similar.
He went masseuse to prison guard.
He massages the
He got angry.
prisoners.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened in that massage room that snapped this man in
Oh
half?
no, he's still massaging, just in the shower now. G'day, boys. Everyone needs to lather up. Daddy's home. And
But he's the most like alpha bloke ever. So how did he come to terms with touching people like that?
I don't think he's an alpha bloke. I'd
Oh,
say.
yeah, well, the way
he's
he-
had a weird
a
transition.
bully.
Well, no, because he
What?
when he was younger, he was pretty chill. Like he fucking worked for the Greens. He never
What?
drank till he was 25, and then I think I actually ruined him. Now I think about it, because he was pretty tame. He was a bit of a dork, and then like he broke up with his partner. And I was like, "Fuck this! You're coming to Bali with me on my boys' trip," and we fucking wrecked his brain. And I think ever since then, now I think about it, he's like, "I love
That's a shame.
Trump," and I'm like, "Okay, that was my
that's a
fault."
You've
real
overcorrected.
Yeah, too far. Switch it back. Meet halfway.
Oh, no, what have you done?
Yeah, I know. I went too far. But yeah, he would say that just because of the nature of and he was a proper, physio, whatever the fuck it is.
Yep.
Dudes would get bonus, even like just because it's any type of movement and it's around there. He's like, yeah, guys just get stiffies, and they're not expecting to be obviously that.
Now I'm starting to see the
There we
transition.
go. Yeah, there we go.
So men just get boners with other men around them. Is there anywhere in that area where that's forced and possibly activity happens?
I've never actually put those two together. Fuck yeah, got ya.
There he is.
There
now.
he is.
All right.
There he is.
Jesus, this is talking about your worst day at work, this whole podcast, and it sounds like you need to get Blakey's brother on.
Yeah,
It was kind of like a milking table he was on or working on, but no. It had two face holes. I could never understand it. One was halfway. I was like, is that for midgets? It's for your penis.
Oh, let's
joke there.
clean this
Come
up,
on.
guys.
I'm
What
sorry,
are we
it's
doing?
it's never usually this bad.
Well, it
only
is,
when
because
Bev
we've had to
Kelly-
delete one. But
Well, yeah, we have. We just did a live show in Adelaide.
can
People
you
are
mention
waiting
names?
for it.
who do you reckon was on?
Live show
In Adelaide?
Yep.
It wasn't Kappa, was it?
No.
I love Kappa, but
We love Cabot. No, he hasn't. No, he wouldn't have done. He wouldn't have.
We're
gone
all
to
being a
places.
bit naughty and we'll keep pushing the
Not
line, I
me.
think. Yeah,
I was being very
Brendan.
good.
We had Mooney on,
oh.
and Mooney loves being a naughty boy.
Now, I mean this with all love to Lawrence Mooney if he's
I
listening
think
to
he's
this.
so funny.
In that every time if I do a corporate and they go, yeah, it was just that last year was a bit much, and I go, who do you reckon? And there's two suspects, and I think they're proud to hear it. One's Akmal, and Akmal, you gorgeous son of a bitch, he always gets there. And Akmal's lovely, but gets distracted very easily, and it
Yeah.
sounds like. And then they've got Mooney. And they'll say Lawrence Mooney came on, and I've got to. It's beautiful because I hear about. They said he shouldn't have said X, Y, and Z, and then he went out, and in the first 3 minutes he said all three.
Yeah,
and he went for it.
it's true. That's what he did.
If you tell him, give him a set of rules, he's like, I'll break them straight away.
Yeah.
We didn't even give him the rules, but he was like, I reckon this is what they don't want me to say. And he came out, and it was so funny. It was a great live show, but as soon as it was over, we're like, thanks guys, thanks for coming out. We walked off stage and we're like, we can never release that. Like and poor old Brady brought all of the equipment, schlepped it all.
I was like,
all
who cares? We'll just get cancelled. It'll be
it's-
funny.
No, I don't want to get
PR.
cancelled. I'm busy. I'm
Good
busy.
PR.
I got things on.
All of a sudden, him and his brother just MAGA the whole way
Mate.
over
No,
there.
portable massage therapy. That's what I'm getting into.
Don't worry about that.
So, Thornton, this podcast is about nightmare work stories.
Oh, yeah.
What is the worst job you've ever had?
I was thinking about this on the way in because, yes, obviously that is the prerogative of the podcast. And, well, okay, there's two things in that. When I was a graphic designer, I used to work up here in Melbourne, but I live in Geelong where I grew up. So I would drive like an hour and a half each way
God.
to go do
To
mate.
look at pictures you couldn't understand because you couldn't see the colour. Fuck, this is a long day.
Working black and white again, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is a film noir company.
Yeah.
Fuck, I actually nailed that. I was pretty happy with that one.
Yeah,
Very
good.
good.
Oh, but you're an onion. You peel away, and what do you find? Fuck toes like that. But
Yeah, my toe looks like an onion. No, disgusting.
it actually looks like a crook garlic. Like, what do you call a garlic?
Oh,
strip?
yeah.
Anyway,
Clove.
Clove. Thank you,
Yep,
mate.
there we go.
But no, I was only reflecting upon this because it was so weird because the owner of this business, he was an all right guy. He's a little off. And I've since noticed that you never worked at a business where they're growing the business, but then the owner doesn't want it to. They want it to grow, but then they want to have control over everything.
Yes.
And so they're just micromanaging everything. And they're
Oh,
all a
yeah.
bit nuts and they're sleep deprived. And so one day they'll just be like, do this. And then come in the next day and go, whose idea was that? And we're like, yours. Like, no, that's shit. Okay, let's do this. And you're like, oh, no. And you're under a
Yeah.
dictatorship where you don't know what you're doing. You don't know if you're Arthur or Martha, guys. And then, but then his kids went to Geelong Grammar. And so he would like, and I think it's cruel when people live close to their kids who bored.
Yeah.
when people do that, rich people
You can't
are like,
come home.
they
I can
can-
see you.
they-
Do not look. Stop looking at me.
Nah, it's 2 train stops, 5 minutes. No, you need a board.
You're not welcome. You're not welcome
You're
here.
sleeping over. Mum needs the Zumba in the morning. She can't drop you off. So it's really weird. And then I was like an impressionable, 21-year-old kid just driving around in a Holden Barina.
Very
Up
cool.
and
What
down the
colour?
highway.
What colour?
Red there.
Very fast.
Thank you.
Okay.
And very comical. I'm a
Red,
tall
how would you
man.
know?
You joke.
Yeah, so they told me. and then I had to pick them up at the end of term from Geelong Grammar. Like,
You had to pick 'em up. You went to
he's like, you got to go
chauffeur.
pick up my kids. Which in hindsight, I was like, oh, I guess this is what you do when you got a job. But then I was like,
Fuck off, cunt.
it was really weird. Like I was just picking up. I got 2 teenagers. They're going to come grab, and they're like, "You're 20," and I'm like, and they gave them to me. I was like, looking
Wow.
back on it, I'm like, hang on a second. Like this guy just turned up and just went.
You could have sold
A
them.
couple kids could have sold them.
So he's getting you to run errands for you.
These kids are good at rowing. How much do you want for them on the black market? They're private school kids. I know how to spell.
To be honest, the reason why they gave you to the kids, they're like, get this fucking disgusting Barina out of here. We
Yeah,
need a
quick,
Rolls
quick,
Royce
quick,
or
quick,
nothing. Yuck, this is bad
true.
PR.
Oh, property prices are going down. This is gross. But I mean, that was just a weird
That's
thing
an
that happened.
awful job. How long did you do that job for?
Yeah, 2 years, 3 years, until I found the spotlight of the stage.
Oh, is that when it happened?
No, no, I'm trying to think when I did. No, I think I did my first gig while I was still working there, but then I was happy to say goodbye. But that's not the worst job I've ever had. The worst job is when you start in stand-up, you always just do whatever you can
Yeah.
to get by. As we just
Well,
spoke
not
about
me.
OnlyFans for.
Married up, so
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Straight to the top,
yeah,
Bron.
just marry up and do fuck all. That's what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I go to Bron's house, I go, God, she's really been doing fuck all.
It's true.
There's 3 kids screaming and it scares me.
Filth everywhere. The help doing nothing. Yeah. it's
Oh, yeah,
fine.
you were just sitting around
Oh god, do
doing your
nothing.
Zumba classes.
Yeah.
And I used to work, there's a Cole Cameron, was a really lovely comic, and he still runs a business called Wacky Entertainment because
Very
Wacky
cool.
does stuff where it's corporate things and then they'll get a person to come in and they're all ex-musos. So they get in there and, honestly, they get on the news every year when the Australian Open's on and they usually sit there because there's like a tuba player and a
Oh, yeah.
trombonist and they just, and then
yes.
the news goes, oh, it's the opening of the Australian Open and they're dressed
Okay.
as a giant tennis ball and they're like, yeah,
Fantastic.
well.
Yes. Yep.
But the thing is, it was like $200-300 for like an hour shift. And I was working in a cafe, so
that's
you're like,
pretty good.
yeah, well, here we go.
Even
And-
now, I'm like, I reckon I'd fucking message Cole.
What's
Do
his
you
name?
still have his contact?
Actually, I don't know if I'm right about this. It's his son.
Yes,
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What?
Voted for, like, he's an incredible actor, this young kid. And he was in that one
Boy
on
Swallows Universe?
Boy Swallows Universe.
He's
Yes,
on that
exactly.
Netflix thing and it's,
Well, the
it's-
young one, or the
Yeah,
the
the
older
young one,
brother.
The young one.
Oh,
That's his
wow.
son.
Yeah, very
Oh.
talented.
Because his partner, and I'm sorry I forgot her name, she's a really great actor. And so, yeah, the genetics have been passed on, and this kid's like unbelievable.
He is. His speech, oh my God, so beautiful. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, great. All right, so Wacky Entertainment.
Wacky Entertainment. So you're
Yep.
doing stuff of like, they call wacky waiters. So you go around and you're dressed like a waiter at a function, but then you pull stuff out like a.
Anal beads.
That's wacky.
That is wacky.
I never saw this one coming. This is amazing.
God, they fucking got me again. Your son's off winning a fucking BAFTA and you're pulling beads out of your ass. That's weird.
The guy slipped a DM into my OnlyFans and booked me for this. Are we good? We good? And so, you pull out a spirit level or something and put it on their beer and be like, oh, is that fine? And they're a bit like, well, this is bloody wacky.
This
And
is
so,
a wacky experience. Yeah, that is wacky. Yeah, great.
Actually, Sammy J, beloved comedian here in
Yes.
Australia,
Also-
we had a gig one time where they have a bin and someone had to be inside the bin because it's remote controlled. And I walked around like a cleaner. And so you'd have the bin in front of you, but then the bin would run off and like
Oh
people
my
would be like,
God.
how come the bin's bloody doing it? And the bin would squirt stuff at you. And that was Sammy J because he's a tiny man. He would
He's
fit in there.
Incy, isn't he? I love when he comes out wearing like a zootie, like a rowing zootie, like of one piece. Because you're like, wow, there's nothing to him, is there?
No,
And there never has been.
He used to call himself 57 kilograms of pure entertainment. And I think he's still the same weight.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
he's the best.
Yeah, he needs
so he
to
was
eat
in a
some
bin,
protein.
and you're saying because the way you're describing this job, like I'd neck myself if I had to do it.
No, I was
But
offered.
how-
Then I heard about the bin story. I was like, fuck, that sounds fun.
But the way you're telling it, it's like with delight. Did you enjoy this job or hate this job?
No, but I'm painting a picture in that.
Sorry.
Because I do agree with you. I get embarrassed really easily, which is strange. I've gotten into stand up, but I do go, oh geez, I feel like a nonce. And then again, it's like $300 or sometimes $400
Yeah.
a shift. And I'd be like, well, I can do this once a week, and then I've kind of paid for everything that I need, or I'll be at the cafe for 4 days a week. So yeah, fuck that.
Great.
Yeah.
So-
Makes
this,
sense.
But this one took the cake because I just did Edinburgh. So this was, memory serves, 2009. And have you guys done it? You've done Edinburgh.
Yeah,
Have you,
yeah.
Brady?
Yeah, a couple of weeks there.
Yeah, it is a punishment.
Yeah, I've only been to do spots, and I would happily never go
Booked my
back.
ticket
and do
the
it.
other day
Looks-
to go back this year. Can't wait
You'll
to
be
lose some
great.
money.
You're going to sell out, Brady. You're going to be great.
But it even and as we've all known, you can sell out and still walk away. They're like, here's
$0.
here's
Still
50 quid. You're
Still
like,
has $5,000. You're like,
Yeah.
well done.
Okay.
yeah, and so I've just been over in Edinburgh and just gone through the ringers because you just sometimes performing to 4 people, sometimes doing all right, and it's just you're up and down. It's all over
Yeah.
the map. I come back skint, and they go, "Hey, we've got this gig for you,"
Yes,
and
please.
I went, no questions asked. What are we doing?"
I'll do it. I'm so nervous.
And it was at Moonee Valley Raceway.
Lawrence Mooney Valley Westway. Yeah. Oh, that's not going to be a
It
good
was
one.
actually pronounced racist way. No.
Oh, right, that's how it went in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
No. We didn't tackle. Oh, no, we did.
No, we
yeah,
did.
yeah, I was
All
gonna
of
say.
it. It's all grim. Yeah.
And it was people have this idea of the races where it's spring carnival and everyone turns up in their best suits and dresses
classy.
and you're in one of the marquees and you're all swanning around and going, oh my God, there's an A-lister over there. It's a Kardashian. Good Lord. It's Friday at the raceway. It's just blokes. Not here to judge, Brady.
Yeah, they're me and Tarot Cash. They're me and Tarot Cash. I get it. I get it.
You know, if
Flammable
things zig
suits.
instead of zag for you,
Yeah.
I can imagine 65-year-old blokey.
Just on the punt.
Yeah, buddy, $2, you can see me toes. I'll give it to
Mate,
got
you laugh,
9.5
but
of 'em.
I put 10 on the nose on this fucking dog on the weekend, 950 up my favour, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Mate, there's some money to be had there, guys. Money to be had there.
The meth here's not for me, mate. I'm giving it to bloody number 6 here.
Yeah, I'm trying it just to make sure it's okay for the dog.
And we're going to jam it into his buttock and then we'll go for it. So we're there and they want it to be jazzed up because they had some idea that the spring carnival should be, or the, I shouldn't say the spring carnival, but the weekend should be jazzed up for Moonee Valley. And so I'm in a top hat, tails that are all sequined.
I would love this if me and my mates were there.
And I don't really know gambling. I've never grown up with gambling. My dad was really against it, and I don't have the gambling bug at all. So I don't even really understand odds in that, like unders and overs and stuff like that. I don't know. But I'm there going, oh, gather up, like a ringmaster, going, come around, gather up, it's going to be fun. And these old boys are like, fuck off. Like I'm here
And in
every
the moment,
Friday.
like when you understand, when you get the brief, like I just want to know a little bit more about this. When you get the brief, are you like, no, okay, fine, I'll do it, but fuck this better. I'm just going to black out. I'm just going to, hopefully this memory will just fade. I don't want to do it. And then when you walk in, you like just turn around. You don't have to do this. You're wearing a top hat and a sequin jacket and you can see the vibe. Are you tempted to just leave?
Yeah, but then again, I needed the money.
Oh, God.
And so you're standing there in this betting ring, and even the
Yeah.
punters are like, why are you here, mate? And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to promote gambling. They're like, yeah, mate, they come to us. Like, there's nothing. These guys are addicts.
We're literally doing
Like, there's
it.
no
yeah.
reason.
They've been brainwashed for years, mate. We don't fucking need you.
Yeah, like the equivalent would be me standing at a pokies and going, come in, guys, they're all here. And they're like, yeah, mate.
Have
like
another slap, remortgage your house.
Totally.
We've done it. We're doing it.
More chili. You're like, yeah, the machine says that, cunt. We get it.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, we get it. We need three cherries and we're fine and we're good to go. So I'm doing all this and boys are going like, man, how much are you getting paid for this? This is bloody embarrassing. They're just potting me on the way through. I've got to do a couple of hours. And the one that really killed me is that at the time, I'm trying to think I must have I went on TV a couple of times that year. It was like the first time I'd ever gone on TV. I was on Good News Week and I was on Spicks and Specs. Both times we finished the episode and it was either Adam Hills or Paul McDermott that got up and went, well, I hate to break it to you guys, but this is the final season. And I'd be like, why am I constantly going on panel shows and it's me that kills them? I've killed.
Yeah, well, we actually thought we were going to go for another 2 series, but after that, we're going to fucking yank this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, brutal. And so... And you realise when you're young as a comic, you go on TV once and you're a bit like, well, bloody everyone's going to notice me.
Yes.
And you go, no, that doesn't happen. You've got to be on TV heaps for someone to be like, I know who you are. So I'd come back from Edinburgh and then one guy was like, mate, weren't you on Good News Week? And I'm like, yeah, nah. And it's like, that's a panel show that's scathing political humour that is taking down the current news. And I'm there in a top hat and sequin, like tails going, yeah, no.
If it isn't the bloke from the TV, you thought you were better than me, do you? Hey? How about you take my bet and fuck off?
Yeah.
Also, did they give you cash? Because if they gave me cash, I'd have lost it straight away. I'd be
You would
like,
have put it back on the
Straight
list.
back.
number 9, thank you.
Yeah.
Mate, I just remember going home and like, what are you doing, mate? Like, just fucking working.
Because you want to like when you do like a hard corporate or like a soul destroying corporate, you're like, that's okay. It's heaps of money, and I'm going to spend a little bit of that money on making myself feel better. But if it's $200, what do you do? Buy yourself a McFlurry? Like you can't. Like you've got. You're like, I need all of it.
This is pre-inflation, mate. Like that could go
Okay.
right.
Okay.
And
All right.
it did all right. And, mate, I just did what I had to do. But in this day and age, yeah, that probably would have turned into OnlyFans. I don't know what I would have
Yeah,
gone. So
fine.
maybe I can look back and go, it actually went all right. But I
That is
just felt
horrible.
humiliated. I was like, what am I doing here?
Was that your last one of that?
Yeah, I do remember the guy said, because I had done a couple of TV and a couple of times on TV, and they said, "Oh, mate, now that people know you, like you can't surprise people anymore. Like with Wacky Ways, they'll recognise you." And I was
You're
like,
too good for wacky entertainment.
"That is good
Good.
enough of an excuse.
That's
that does make
beautiful.
sense."
That's a wonderful way to get fired. You're too famous.
And it wasn't the case. I still think I could do it now when people wouldn't recognise
Guys,
me.
put me in the bin. No one will see me. Fuck, I can lose weight.
I will work
Fuck
it
Sammy
out.
off.
Sammy J, get out! You've had
I'm
your
the
turn.
bin boy. I'm the fucking bin boy.
Actually, this is true. My first ever TV spot was Good Morning Australia on Bert Newton.
Oh, that would have been
that's
awesome.
great.
I used to love that show.
Mate, Troy Kinney, a good mate of mine, like he came with me and we were both like, here we go. It was like big time. And it's like 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Bert's behind me. He actually was a great audience. Bert was really, and then gave me the wet fish afterwards, was like, great work, David.
Oh, he's got a bad
Yeah, he
handshake.
got a very bad handshake.
Oh,
but,
don't tell me that. I hate that.
but he was
Oh,
so
yeah, don't
positive,
worry.
loved it and laughed. The gear wasn't that great, but he laughed and he was right into it.
Right.
And I do remember after that just thinking, I probably won't have to do any of that stuff anymore. This guy is now winning loogies and smashing it out of the park.
Cleaning your front door, being like, people are going to be knocking on this in no
Oh,
time.
man, that, mate.
I think I had what was I on? I think it was
That
maybe-
also shut down that show. So
Oh, straight after that,
That is
he
me.
died. He died that day, actually. Yeah, I killed him.
I was
Sorry
on
about that,
question.
he jumped out of a window at the Como. I can't do this anymore.
I was on Question Everything the same time I was homeless living by the beach in a camper van. So
Pretty
they
good.
flew us to Sydney, and then like I left all the way back, and I was just in this shit camper van, and someone at the trailer park or the caravan park was like, "Was that you on the TV last night?" And I went, "Yes, it was." And then I was also working in a factory replacing LEDs, like on the forklift and shit, and I must have looked like the worst. Like they're like, this surely can't be the guy. They're like, "Have you been on TV? I think I saw you the other night." I was like, yeah, that was me. But it was the same time my partner broke up with me. So I had a little bit of, and also our good friend Cal passed away. So I had 4 shifts, 2 cries at work, and I shat myself.
Wait,
The shitting yourself, don't ask.
That last bit just came out
No
of
one saw
nowhere.
that.
Mate, if you think it came out of nowhere for you, it came out of fucking nowhere for me. I had 2 cans of chili tuna because I was stoned the night before, and then I was like, I reckon I can make it to work. I fucking couldn't, and I misread the room completely because I was like, everyone here is in manual labour. I'm on the forklift. Everyone's a bit of a grub. They're all riggers. All right, I'll tell you this, yarn. Fucking hell, I had this chili tuna last night, and I fucking had to pull over the side of the highway, and I fucking just went towel up on a fucking tree, and everyone's like, that is disgusting. I was like, what? Are you sure you got high vis on? Because normally this kills. This fucker, is this thing on? And then everyone just looked at me like I was a fucking freak. They're like, so if he's not crying, he's shitting himself. And I was like, I left after that shift. I was like, I'm not coming back.
I'm suited to this.
Question everything. I am. Like I am. From top to bottom.
I gave him all the details that was wrong, but I kept doubling down. I was like, oh, they
my
didn't find the
God.
shit funny. Why is that? I was like, yeah, but then I turned around. Turns out I was doing a shit on a dead fox. And everyone's just like,
Cool.
and I'm like,
Insane.
this is
Sorry.
Is this not funny? Have I misread this
Oh,
room? I
Blake.
died. I'm dying it again. I was like,
It's like something from The Office. You're David Brent. I reckon I know exactly how to make them laugh, and it just makes them. They just feel sorry for you.
oh, yeah.
They're just embarrassed.
What else I love about you, Blakey, is it's like we could have a wheel behind us about any topic of conversation,
Yeah,
and it
he's
would just
got one.
stop on like plastic bags, and you're like, oh, got one. Shit me pants while I lost half a foot while I was doing this thing here, and everything is going to lead back to just a bizarre story in your life.
I've lived a life.
You have lived
I've
a
lived
life.
a life. I've had an interesting life.
I can't stop looking at your toe. I think that's.
Hey mate, that's $5 right there. Fucking having a little free look, are you?
I never knew either. Like he always wears open toe shoes, and I've never noticed it.
Oh my god! You never noticed my little stubby feet? That's your loss, guys. Anyway,
No, I've
like,
definitely noticed your
subscribe.
feet, but I've never noticed that one's half missing. I think that's incredible, Brett. Well
Thank
done.
you. You know
Survival
what?
story. This
I am
is
a survivor.
I know
Yeah.
one thing that has stood out. Like you went a bit viral for you going, oh, Arabic hairdressers, and they can just give you the
yeah.
best fade ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
An old mate was probably just working his ass off looking at your feet. Like, I need this guy out. He's just sitting, this guy's no good. I need to
This
get him,
is
shave the
fucking-
side of his head, get him out of
Get
here,
this
quick
cunt
sticks.
out of here. I thought you were going to say, like, all the people that were just toweling me up going, it's not Arabic, it's Arab. And I thought Arab, so this is fucking, I was like, I thought Arab was kind of like a slur, like a
Yeah, sure.
half term for something. And I didn't want to say that word. So I said, yeah, Arabic barber. And everyone's like, it's Arab, it's Arab. I'm like, no, it's not. That's fucking, and then someone's like, oh. And I said, oh, sorry for trying. I said, oh, yeah, sorry. I'm learning. And then it had like 5,000 people. He's just trying. He's an idiot.
He's trying his heart. Look at the
I'm
state of him.
trying.
Look at the state of him. He doesn't know which way's left or right. Leave him to
Let
it.
him be. He did a shit on a dead fox, for fuck's sake. He had 2 cries on the forklift. I've never seen a forklift driver this soft in my life.
He's come on the telly to tell us that he's had a haircut. Let him have a go. Just, it's all right. Everyone's got actual big news. You've come on to be like, yeah, guys, I got a haircut recently. And everyone goes, wow.
haircut.
Wow.
You
All by
didn't-
yourself.
You didn't realise you were filling a diversity quota there on TV. You're like, I'm in. I've done all right.
Yeah,
Do you mean mentally or because of my toe? I don't answer
definitely
that. Yeah.
I mean, no, I do agree with you with, because isn't it funny when those slurs are just the word, but they're said aggressively?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Arab, and I even feel bad about saying it, but if you go, oh, that person is Jewish, and you're like, I don't want to say just Jew,
Yeah.
because then everyone
Yeah.
goes, what? You're like, it is the word.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you're like, oh God, I'm.
Because I
So
can probably,
scared.
I say this quite confidently, all three of us would have an auntie who would say that the wrong way.
Yes.
You know, like I've got an auntie who would say Arab and she wouldn't say it nicely.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
I've heard-
you're like, well, if Auntie Trish says it, I probably can't say it. Whatever Auntie Trish
Auntie
says, I'm
Trish.
not going to do it. I'm not going to say whatever she says. I'm not going to say it. Yeah,
It's always
everything.
fucking
Yeah, everything she says, I'm like, I think that is banned. So when someone says Jew or Arab, you're like, that's an Auntie Trish word.
Actually, this brings up something. I'm going to segue into my own gear here. In
Fuck
that
yeah, do it.
You love bad gig stories.
Yes.
I'm desperate to
Right
know.
here.
You've had many gigs. If you've been doing, so what's this? What's this, like almost 20 years you've been doing comedy?
Yeah, it's over now. It's 21,
Great,
22
you
kind of
have
back.
some
Dave
beauties
Thornton used
in
to rock
there.
around, black skinny jeans, black shirt,
mate.
Air Max Pros.
Is this what
Fucking
you've come dressed as?
No. I remember because we did our first gig in Roto Fest, that one, and then you were headlining. I'd never seen the only headliners we had before in Perth were Jacques Barrett and the Adelaide comedian Ben Darso. So anytime anyone else came over, we were like, whoa, this is how crazy and small Perth was. I was excited to see Carl Chandler. I was like, whoa, this guy's from Melbourne. What the fuck? Because
You're still like that. Every single time you see him, every time you go to Spleen,
I'm
you're like
can you
kissing
sign
his
my
feet.
funny? What's the book called he's got?
Your toe?
No, sign my toe.
Funny guys.
Funny guys, funny
something-
fellas.
Something like that.
Yeah,
He's written a book.
Yeah, heaps of women in it.
Hannah Gatsby's in
So
it.
what?
Yep.
There you go.
And then yes, Rotofest, my God. A time when the people who were in charge, if memory serves, were on psychedelics.
Yes,
that was
they
Oh,
were.
yeah.
it was the
Nice.
comedy's version of Fire Festival.
Okay.
Bron,
Oh.
it was a lot.
And they rocked up drunk in a golf cart and just used to drive you around. It was just fucking maggot. It was fucking awesome.
Right.
I loved it.
Okay.
but
Did
they-
you love it?
But they found funding. This feels like all I do is gig for money. But I remember they found funding and it was like, okay, if you're paying us this much, but we were like, oh, there's a madman at the wheel. Like this festival's gone crazy.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. But
The guy from Sticky Fingers did acid and got lost in the sand dunes for 2 days.
Oh.
Still
Clockers
funny.
took him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I only bring this up because this is a pretty recent gig, and it still kills me to say this happened. But I had COVID early December, and so I missed out on a couple of gigs. And do you guys do the same, that when you've missed out on gigs, you think you're in arrears? Like you're going like,
Yeah.
oh no, I've lost money. Oh
Yeah,
no, what have I done here?
absolutely. Yeah. When a gig gets cancelled, I'm like, how do I make that up? How do I make it up? All right, I'll do.
Don't have to worry. Rich
400
husband.
Yeah, married up.
Hang it up.
Smart. And then, my partner works in public health, so I'm fine. And
There's heaps of cash. You can steal drugs though, so that's pretty good.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah. You get all your problems with
I hadn't
Oxy.
thought about that.
Oh, it's true.
And so they caught me in a vulnerable moment because I was coming out of COVID and I was like, okay, I missed out on a gig. And someone did slide into my DMs and said, we got a work thing for Christmas. Can you come down? And I was like, and always with those, you're like, I don't answer, or I just go, no, well, have you got this, that, and the other? They didn't think so. Like, it's not even a gig, is it?
Yes.
And so I just went, look, I don't know. Have you got this set up? Have you got sound speakers? Have you got, all the things?
Because we know, but the regular person might not know that you do actually kind of need something that looks a bit like a stage. You need a good lighting and you need a microphone that works.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just embarrassing for everyone, not just you.
Yeah. And everyone
Okay.
thinks comedy just works in it. Oh, we all love a laugh.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you won't love it if I'm standing at the end of the boardroom table just on my own going, g'day guys, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'd love it.
Yeah.
I would
If I watched
actually
you
love
do
that,
it,
dude.
it'd
I'd
be
pay for
fucking
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll fucking burn,
Can we do that
dude.
this after?
Yeah, $200, I'll do it. And but I had done a lot of those gigs early days, and you'll learn after a while. Okay, well maybe this isn't the
Yes.
right way to attack it. But then I said, if you got all this, yep, we're all fine. Okay, we'll pay you this much. And then I'm like, I'll just do it. So I turn up. It's on the other side of the city. I get there. Now the boss is pretty pissed. She's the most pissed person there.
And she's the one
her
who's booked you.
She's the one who's booked
Great.
me. So I go upstairs in this bar in Elstonwick, Melbourne, and then I get up there and I'm like, what is happening here? There's about 30 people. They're all pretty maggot. And I'm like, oh. And then she goes, there he is. Her and her husband, really drunk. And I'm like, oh, cool. So what's going on here? Yeah, well, soon. I'm like, oh, where's the sound speaker? And then they just point at the dock that you put your phone or iPod on or something. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, well, there's a sound speaker. There's speakers. I'm like, yeah, like a microphone. You need a microphone. She said, no, well, just a sound
Well, what
speaker.
did
And I was
she
like,
think
oh,
was gonna come out of
Jesus.
did she think you just wanted music to walk onto?
Yeah, I don't know either. And because of that thing of like, I said sound speaker, which is stupid. I probably said a mic
Sound
stand.
speaker. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
And
know
then
what you're trying to say.
yeah,
This
and
is on you.
this is,
I'm with
mate,
her on
I
this.
need a sound speaker. She's
I need a
like,
music.
okay.
I need a musical box that you can maybe talk into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But then, and I said to her and her husband, I'm like, this won't work. I just want to let you know now it won't work. And they're like, no, it'll work. Now, I had every right to walk away then. I could have,
Yes.
because there was no harm, no foul. Like, I didn't take any money or anything. I was just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And she says, no, I really want it to happen. And I said, no, like, it just won't work. And I'm talking to him for, like it was honestly about 5 minutes going, you just don't understand. The mic, people won't be able to hear me. It won't work. It's just up here. You can still hear everything from downstairs. There's music coming up.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work. No. And the guy's going, mate, I want to pay you. You've made an effort to come over here. I want to pay you.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm like, oh, mate. And then something just snapped inside me. I was like, I'm doing it then. Fine, I'm doing it. And you're going to see how bad this is.
Oh, proving a point. Prove a point. Yes, I love
And I'm
it.
doing my full time as well.
Well, this is it. Now, I said to him, you got to introduce me. This is in the message. You got to introduce me in this because it needs some kind of like, you need to stop everyone down and you need to focus their
And
attention.
you need to drag me in a bin onto the stage and I'll come out wearing a top hat and a sparkly jacket. That's what we do. You know that's how I work. I will not settle for less.
That's what I asked for. and then so he...
That's
and,
wacky.
yeah. And then so he goes, oh yeah, no worries. And he's drunk and he just goes, hey, run, like, Sky Day, Thornton, he's going to be fun. And yeah, it's just like, it's going to be really fun. So yeah, here he is. And like,
Perfect. Don't announce what I am. Don't say what I'm doing or how long for. Don't do that.
Has he done the gala intro before? That sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on. And then so I'm like in this bar, and of course, if I look to my right, all the people on my right can hear me. No one on my left. And then I turn to the left, vice versa. And so all these people, because it was their boss, they did do a bit of, I guess we've got to sit here for this. But I'm like, yeah, but... And I realized it was a factory, so you could very much, like the owners were there, and then all the factory workers who were just scared because they rarely ever talk to the owner, who just is like...
the class divide is like, there's a number of classes in between them. It's not just like working class and upper class. It is like...
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, that's also why she's maggot, because she's just like, yeah, cool, how good's the year been? And they're like, we've been working 18 hours. Like,
I'm so tired. I miss my kids. I can't believe I have to be here.
Back down the coal mine. Shut your fucking mouth. Dad needs a new diamond.
I know. And then I'm trying to be as affable as possible, but just dying on my hole and halfway through bits, but going, no one cares, and kind of half talking to people. And this is the bit that really got me, because I'm peek behind the curtain. There's a bit of gear that I drop in sometimes when I say, especially when I'm down in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, because I live in Brunswick. I quite often go, oh, here we go. This is the nice part of town, isn't it? We're in Brighton, St Kilda,
yes,
Elwood. I said, some well-off people here. It always feels like when I'm down here that someone here was once my landlord. And I just say, it's a bit of a joke. And the guy goes, well, we're Jewish. That feels racist. And I'm like, oh Jesus. No. I was like, dude. Like, and that was the boss. He heckled me. And I'm like, mate, I'm already sinking, and you've just put your foot on my face and plunged me into the water.
It's actually pronounced Jew. And
I was like, come on, mate. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to get through this.
But were they all Jewish?
I mean, that's what he said. I don't know. And then I'm not also going to go, straw poll.
Yeah. How can I make this worse for myself? I'm going to ask everyone where they're from.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'll guess. Yeah. Don't tell me, I'll guess.
I know. And I was just like, this is killing me. And so it was death.
No.
Death on a stick. And
How long do you do? How long are you supposed to do?
Well, I took a leaf out of, that famous Bill Burr spot that he did in Philadelphia where he's just counting it down because they were so aggressive. I was doing that. I was like, okay, that was 12 minutes down. We got 8 to go. What else are we doing, guys? Which part do you work in? And I was just going through it.
I love that. You fucking, you fought.
Okay, and part of you doing this is to show them this is how long you wanted me to do it and this is how badly it's going?
Yeah, like I honestly didn't try to tank it, but I was just going, see, this is how bad it is. This is how bad it's going. And I told you this.
Yeah, listen to me. And then at the end, was there any interaction, or did they just like not make eye contact, hand you an envelope and ask you to get the fuck out?
To their credit, they were like, yeah, thanks for that. And then he was great. He goes, man, I told you I'd give you the money. Here's the money. And I was like, thanks, man. And she had filmed me for a bit of it. And then I had to go, can you delete that footage? And she's like, why? And I said, because there's jokes there that I tell, and I don't want them. If you put them on the internet, people would find out about those jokes and they wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah. She's
like, I won't put it on the internet. But I was like, yeah, but for my own sanity, can you just delete it so that there's never any footage of this?
I'm going to reach out to her and get that footage. That sounds awesome. Yeah. That sounds so awesome, guys. It's going to be on the Patreon this week, guys. Jump in.
I hate when people are filming and it's so obvious and it's really awkward because you can't be like, sorry, can you not film that?
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, whoa, so sensitive. And so it's just a weird thing to do, to come into someone's work and start filming them.
It's fucking creepy as well.
Yeah, what's that for? Or the people who film like your entire like half an hour set. You're like, that's taken your entire phone foot. You've had to delete like the birth of your child for the video.
And you're not going to go back and go, fuck, I'm going to watch that again.
100%. It's funny when you're trying to argue with a person who's like, usually I found if younger people do it, it's almost like you're going to put this on the internet and try and trip me up. Older people do it to be like, no, but I'm having fun and I just would like, I'll show my nephews when I go home. And you're like, no, that's not how it works. You can't take this home with you.
Nah, you haven't paid.
Doesn't translate. Yeah, okay. So that, and at the end of that gig, how was the drive home? If this is a work, and that's recent. It was the end of last year, wasn't it? Yeah, it was like a few months ago. That was the worst gig you've ever done, you reckon?
I've learned nothing. It's not the worst gig.
But it's right up there.
It's right up there. I mean, I've done a lot of bad gigs.
Yeah, that is pretty grim.
I don't know how long this podcast can go for.
You've been accused of being racist by the person who booked you, the person who begged you to be on. You're like, pardon? Yeah.
What made it even funnier was that when you go down the stairs, one of the stairs had busted. Someone had walked through the stair and it was a hazard. Like you could fall through it and really axe yourself.
Heavy
girl. And there was a staff member there going, oh, just step over that. And I was like, no, on the way up, I should have just plunged myself into this hole.
No, I thought you were going to say, everyone, they're like, step over it. And then you walk up and she's silent. Like, you need to go down.
No, you can.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah, the
You'll
boss
feel
is
better.
like, get away from the hole. Let him just drop into it.
Yeah.
And take that envelope on his way down. Okay, so
see
that sounds like a horrific gig, and I'm sorry you had to experience that. So have you learned anything from that?
Cash is king. Cash is king.
You're going to say yes again
Cash
to
is king.
something like that.
Well, the thing is, I drove home and responsibly gave the amount of tax I should to the ATO. Like, I just drove past them.
As we all do.
yes, because
We
you
all do.
would. You
'Cause
just
I
do that.
That's
You
for
love
our
that.
infrastructure for our...
You put it in your
country.
little top hat.
That's exactly-
You fished out the right amount, gave it to the man.
Here's the money. No, I mean, I've done heaps of those gigs. I've almost had the shit kicked out of me at a gig. The heckles
Was that
just
Perth?
galore. No, that was a gig in Cooey Rup, which is outside of Cranbourne in Melbourne. Southeastern suburbs here in Melbourne is not my friend. And I was with Troy Kinney and Tom Seagate, and we almost got the shit kicked out of us.
Really?
Well, the three of us, we always used to do gigs where we'd all turn up and do 20 minutes each at footy clubs and cricket clubs.
Oh, yeah, great.
And it always worked out really well. They'd have a bit of a break. You know, everyone gets a drink, comes back and do all that. And we would just rotate the lineup. So whoever was on last. And the last gig goes on first this time and just rotates.
Right.
And so we were out there, and it was the first time we used a booking agent. So we thought we were big time because we were like,
Yep. Here comes the cash.
here we go. You know, they saw the brilliance that we all know we have. So correct mundo. So we get there, and I found out through the night, this is a real night to raise money because this club is in dire straits. And we're like, okay, there's a lot on this. It's not just us doing a gig. And we get there, and they're getting blind. And there's a cover band doing Jesse's Girl and whatever, and they're loving it. And they're like, right, now, everyone sit down. Stop bloody join yourselves. Sit down. It's comedy coming on. And it was a huge hall, and they all just sat at the back. There was just a moat of nothingness. You know, that dance floor that then's just in front of you where all your jokes are dying.
Your jokes are just dying in the middle of. Yeah, great.
So Troy Kinney gets up first, and Troy's a solid comic. Like, he's always been just able to just bang it out.
Fucking oath he is, yeah.
I've never heard him die so hard. Like, he's out there, and he's getting nothing. And Tom Seagate and I are looking at each other like, oh, if he's dying,
Yeah.
how are the rest of us going? And then so he does his 20, gets off, and Kinney's like, what's wrong with him? What's going on there? Mate, they're stupid. What's happening here? And I was like, yeah, okay. And the break then goes for 2 hours. It's not just like have a couple of drinks and we'll put the band back on. They're like, band's heaps better. We'll just bloody crank that out.
Oh, then let us go home then.
Yeah. Tom Seagate then goes on at probably like 10:30. Same thing again. Dies on his hole. And then I'm like, it's up to me. I then am walking around trying to just pick up on maybe I'll talk to the audience. I swear to God, the head coach who we'd gotten to know because he was the main guy that was talking to us, he's out the front drinking with guys that I don't reckon, they look like the under 15s. Like they were smashing Bacardi Breezes. And all
Yeah,
this.
great.
I'm like, this is no good. It was 11:45 when I went on.
Oh.
And I used to do, and this circles back to your intro, Blakey, which my jokes were okay then, but then I would just do my Hughesy impersonation and it would be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That was my thing that kind of saves me out of everything. I would tell a joke that wasn't great and I'd go, oh, well, it'd be funny if Dave Hughes said it and gets a bit of a chuckle, and then I'll just repeat the joke.
Okay,
So
yes.
I was walking down the street the other day. And then
Wow, you're
good at it.
really
I know.
good at it.
He's really good at it. I was
Holy
hoping he's going to do it. I was like, please, I don't want to beg. Please do it, dude. I love it.
You're really good at it. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
it's really good. And then, and so I do this as if to be like, well, guys, I mean, no one's got kryptonite against this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And he gets nothing. So, and you realise how stupid you are when you're sitting there
it's
being
so embarrassing. You've done
Hey,
a
go,
special.
guys! And everyone's like, what's wrong with this bloke? Why is he talking like that? And I'm like, oh no. And then I just said, you know what, guys, you're having a good night. Don't worry about it. I'll cut my set short. It's fine. You guys, we'll bring the musos back on. You'll have a bloody great night. Don't worry about it. Because in my mind, I'm like, you don't even have to pay me. It's fine. I'm out of here. And then so I get off stage and the coach just storms in like, well, fuck's that? And I was like, mate, you don't have to pay me. It's fine. Like, honestly. And he goes, right. So out of the 2,500, how much was yours? And I was like, And we were getting paid like $300 each. And the booking agent had just gone to town. So this guy was like, it was a huge outlay of cash for this club. And I'm like, oh, this is so good, paid $300. And he's like, $300? $300 out of 2,500, mate. What are we talking about? And I'm just like,
Oh my God.
and he's just like, no, we need all our money back, mate. That's not working. And Tom Seagate, because you've had him on the pod, he's the nicest bloke. He's
So
the best
nice.
diplomat. He's there talking to the coach, going, look, I get it, mate. It hasn't been easy for you to understand that. And he's
Really,
like,
you knew everyone. Do me. I got half a toe.
shimmy pants in a tent.
Fuck, that was good.
I'm waiting for you to go huge, mate, and then I can live. I can go, who wants to book me for a Brett Blake impersonation? I I'll cut a toe off.
Fuck, if you thought working out of that bin was dire, imagine doing impersonations of me.
And so it was funny because I realised I've caused this hand grenade. Like I've thrown it out there and I'm like, I feel really bad about it. And I'm not really a fighter, let's be honest. Seeger's trying to placate the situation. Kinney is like a pit bull in the corner going, well, just fucking take him. We'll take him. And I'm like,
shit, the whole
Kinney,
club.
we cannot take the whole club. And obviously when he arced up, I was like, oh, it kind of feels like you can. Like he's a broad dude.
He's a big dude in kickboxing
He's
as well.
made of cement,
Yeah, he's made of cement. And so we're just like, there. And the coach had honestly brought in this guy. He looked like Mongo from Blazing Saddles. Like this guy was huge. He just looked like he was a bit short on it and he was massive. And it's almost like, bring him in because he'll look like he will absolutely destroy these guys.
Okay.
And I'm just like, and this guy's like, where do we get the money? And we're like, we'll talk about it on Monday. Who are you going to get some of your money, mate?
Oh my God, this is terrifying.
And they honestly frog marched us out. Like they were like, you go out and if you turn and say anything back to us, we're kicking the shit out of you. And so the three of us, they lined up, they were at the door and they just watched us walk to our car.
Really?
Oh
We're just
my
like,
gosh.
Oh, I would have to say something.
And I tell you what, when we were about 45 minutes up the freeway, we let them have it.
Yeah.
Absolutely going
Still
for
whispering just in case they could hear. Yeah. I didn't want, turn the music up. Yeah,
Would they have
I would have
paid-
smashed all those soft cocks.
You didn't butt dial him, did you? You butt dial him.
So would they have been fine if you had just done your time? You don't know.
I mean, this was one of those ones, I guess, because they went, he did his time, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, I
But
think
it
they
was-
were looking for an excuse, though, to get that cash back.
I do agree. And I look back on it now, I should have had a spine because the guy who booked us then called me and dragged me over the coals like, oh, well, you're unprofessional. And I was like, am I? Like,
reckon
you
you've done the right
charge
thing.
more than double for this. This is absolute
And
bullshit.
also, when it's not working, I say this at corporates as well, like, oh, you're scheduled for 30 minutes. If it's not working after 15, it ain't going to work after 20. So why don't we just all cut everyone's losses and fucking just put some fucking Katy Perry on or some shit? You know, why would you ruin people? No, I got to get paid. I'd be like, if I was paying, I'm like, it's not working. You still get paid. You did your thing.
You
You're here.
tried, yeah.
Yeah, because everyone has that, it's going to be a good idea. And you're like, it's really not. Not with 2 hours of drinking between comedians.
No, but they just don't know how to
hammered.
set up a gig. You know, they
And it-
can work in corporate environments, but they're just fucking the worst sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
And also, you don't, like, the organizer doesn't know how maggot they're going to be or how much coke they're going to be on. So they're like, okay, you've tried. It isn't working. It's actually just embarrassing and you're ruining the night for everyone if you keep talking. Just do 10.
And it's so hard because in this day and age of like, you know, HR really does have to go, we'll like any material that will put anyone off, and that's their job. However, like I hosted a thing recently and I don't think Mark Goldstein he'd be fine with me telling me this because he walks in and I'm hosting the awards and no one gives a shit.
Yeah,
He's like, he
great.
walked up and he was like, is Thornton on? And everyone's chatting and I'm like, oh, the next award is like, no one gave a shit. So when we go on break, he's in the green room and he's like, dude, and I'm like, I will shut them up for you, Mike. I will shut them up for you. But they're all builders. So like 5 minutes into his set, he starts giving him shit about going to the toilets and banging coke and stuff. And they're all like, hey, this is a Crown Palladium.
Okay.
And then he gets off and the organiser's like, so funny, Mike. Like, really funny stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, who in their right mind, like it was brassy of him, but it worked. But you're also like, we're at a corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are like, nah, they laugh, they're all right. So you never know the rules.
You never know.
Mate, the rule is if you win them and you make them laugh, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean?
True. That is true.
So I had one where they're like, don't talk about how there's only 2 women who work at this engineering firm. And then I was like, yeah, okay. And I went out there and they left a big pie graph on the screen and it had like 2%. I said, is that your fucking female to male ratio here, is it? And it killed.
Yeah, crush.
That's right. Did
The
they,
rest of it, 50-50.
did they book you again, Brady?
No, but a group of them came to my solo show. They're like, yeah, we loved you, that engineering
good.
thing. I was like,
That was a
fucking
success.
hell.
Yeah, see, there you go. Mate, you would have told that Garmin story.
Oh, it's so good.
I've told that a couple of times, but yeah, it's fucking brutal.
That is
It's
so,
so nice.
funny.
It's really good. Is that a new show? No.
Nah.
It's so funny.
Are you kidding me?
No, it doesn't really match with the rest of the story about being a fucking
It'll be in a
riot.
show.
Nah, but sometimes I reckon, now this is a bit of a peek behind the actor's studio. Peek behind the curtain that sometimes you can open a show like that and just be like, oh, you know, you guys are a good audience. Well, you did this gig like this, and then you get into the story.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
I've got a couple of
pretty
those.
funny.
But I
It's so
still need to
funny.
process
It's
that
so
one.
funny.
I need a little bit of time on that one. But the guy, yeah, it was fucking brutal. Who booked this cunt?
To read it on stage, to read a watch on stage and it says, who booked this guy? You'd be like, oh my God.
Pretty funny.
It's so
Mate,
funny.
it's very funny because
It's the best
it
heckle
wasn't
ever.
said out loud. Like, you're the only one that takes that
It's
in.
only
No
for
one
me.
audibly hears it. You can't go back to it.
It's like
Didn't even get to keep the
it's
watch.
it's even worse than apparently I've never seen it in real life, but I've heard of those hecklers who sit in the front row and just whisper like their heckles to the comedian going, "You're shit. You're fucked.
See,
no one likes you."
I had that. I did a
I'd
gig
punch
with
him.
Brad
Did
Oakes
you?
recently in that I was early days in my... Because he goes, remember that Telstra gig? And I was like, oh, actually, I'd forgotten it. Where it was myself, Brad Oakes, and then Dave Hughes. And we'd all been booked for these corporates. It was at function rooms at the MCG. And then I had the call centre, Oakesy had the middle management, and Hughesy had the upper management. And so I'm in my room, and there was a guy just pointing at me and doing the throat
What
cutting
the hell?
thing, like, I'm going to kill you.
Was he from the footy club?
And then, probably.
Probably.
And you're
Found
like, I'm
you.
actually Hughesy. I'm not.
There you go, guys. So I died on my hole, walked out, wondered what the other guys were up to, go and see Oakesy, doing a good job with middle management, go see Hughesy, destroying with upper management. And
Damn
I'm
it.
like, Hughesy's probably got stocks in this company, while I've got a
Yeah,
guy that's
yeah.
about to shiv me somewhere out here in the MCG. And I'm going to be found next week at round 12 when Collingwood plays Melbourne.
Wow, it does. From if no one had ever seen your comedy before or seen any of your work, what it sounds like is your career's going so badly.
It's actually going really well. He's got a beautiful house.
So well. It's so well that you don't even have to do a show this year. Do you have anything else that you want to plug before we sign off?
Well, the great thing is my show from last year, Nothing's Impossible, is still touring, guys.
Oh, great.
Hell
it's
yes.
touring around Victoria. I've also got a gig. I'm not sure when you're releasing this, but we're up in Brizzy.
Next week.
Oh, there we go.
Yep,
I think
we are.
March 21st, if memory serves. I'm up there in Brizzy, so just doing a
great.
repeat of the show down at Sit Down Comedy Club.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I'm at Wyong Arts Centre, and then, I'm all around. Castlemaine, down
Oh
in
my God.
Frankston, Geelong.
I'm loving a
Just
regional
little-
tour. I love
Little
a regional tour.
one-off,
tour.
which I was
Regional
inspired
tour.
by Brady Blake to do this. So,
Really?
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of regional tours. So I said, Blakey, and picked his brain about it.
Yeah.
Did not go to any of the venues that he offered to me.
Yeah.
Oh, great. You didn't get
Well,
Goxie as your opener?
Well, you didn't want to go to a paddock and play to fucking four farmers with their shirts off? Coward. Coward. Heard it here
I
first.
don't think that was a gig, mate.
Yeah, it was called a roast or something, but it was, there was no microphone. It was weird.
Woke up in a cold bathtub, so my organs missing.
I've never
Just a
sat right
flashing-
since.
A flashing light that just said open. I walked straight in. It was just four farmers with their shirts off. Is someone going to give me a rub and tag? Or
What are we doing here?
What are we
Those
doing?
farmers fucking rest. They'll yank your bloody dick off. But guys, if you're not already the Patreon, make sure you do so. Thank you very much for joining us. Where can people find you on the social media? Because you've got so much clips and stuff online. I think you got a special online as well, don't you?
That's right, Dave_Thorno. It's all on the
Go by
Instas.
Dave on social media, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Well, you don't think I go David?
No, I thought you'd go Dan, but
You're going to have to change that when you get home, don't you?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's all on YouTube. Got free. So click, like,
Oh,
and
great.
subscribe.
Hell yeah, guys.
So
We'll,
good.
we'll see you next time. One more time for Dan.
thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Love you.
I didn't even get your joke. I was like, yep, Dan. I'd forgotten an hour ago.
You know when you've been bullying for too long. I've been fired from a lot of places. I've been fired from so many places.
I went into the class one day, real bullets.
Kill me.